What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jlunce Reviews. I'm your host, Jlunce, and today we're talking about a new album. Today we're talking about the new album from Simz, who is a UK rapper known for her lyricism and honestly pretty fantastic track record when it comes to album releases. I mean, sometimes I have to be introvert. Come on, pretty damn good record. By pretty good, I mean like one of the best rap records of 2020 so far. But still, here we have a new album from her titled Lotus, her first since her 2022 record, Thank You, which was one of the best of that year. Album release wise, I thought. Last year she dropped a sort of experimental EP that had a lot of electronic elements. I didn't love it, but it felt like an interesting side project, and I was keen on finding out whether she was going to incorporate some of these new sounds into her new record. And after listening to this album, it's pretty clear that the experimental EP she dropped last year was just that, an experiment. But that's not to say that this album doesn't have its differences sonically to her past project. This album, I would say, is her most stripped back project, less grand, a bit more cerebral. She doubles down the jazzier elements of her previous records, and certain songs actually do have some very odd ideas incorporated into her execution. For one, the opening track, Thief, almost has a punk quality to it in terms of the heavy bassline electronic guitars puttering away in the mix. There's a dark storminess to the production as well, with the synths kind of having an ominous feeling to them. But what makes this song disappointing to me is the pretty bad la 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 chorus that happens, I think, like 3 times throughout the entire song. The first time it happened, I was like, I don't know about it. The second time it happened, I kind of got annoyed, and the third time I was very, very frustrated because I enjoy her flow in the track and the production as well, and the lyrics about an actual betrayal in her life that probably had to do with some loss that happened are compelling as well. But the following cut, Flood, seems to have straight up mixing mistakes where the vocals are far too quiet from both Simz and the 2 features. I do enjoy the weird, cavernous, sharp synths, and the instrumentation sort of sounds like a modern Suxi and the Banshees song, but it doesn't really impress, doesn't really go anywhere all that interesting to me. Then the next track, Yun, had me even more worried, with probably her most annoying and grating vocal performance of her entire career, honestly. The piss and French lyrics on this song are something, and pretty awful actually, and it sounds like a childish, dumber version of a verse off of like a 60s Pink Floyd song, which sounds weird, I know, but if you listen to old Pink Floyd stuff, you'll know what I kind of mean. I'm really not even sure what the theme of this track is. It's just kind of incoherent, and how it fits with the overarching story of the album, I don't know, but yeah, a low point on the record for sure. After this though, the album does not get nearly as bad as that, and does start to deliver some actual Little Simz songs that are worthwhile and good. Only features heavy use of some bluesy pianos and smooth vocal contributions from Lydia Kitto, and the minimalist approach to the beat allows her to really stand out, and you really get to enjoy her flow. But I'm honestly more impressed by Free, one of my favorite moments lyrically and instrumentally on the record. She focuses on these revolving concepts of love and fear, and how that leads to liberation, and not just criticism from others, but from herself as well. There's also a great line where she compares fear to being disguised as a form of protection, or a culprit slowing down your progression in life. And once again, the beat isn't going for anything over the top or grand, but it does have some pretty strong stirring sections. I just think that the more expansive, illustrious, and rich sound, like on Introvert or on Thank You, is just a tad more engaging, because although this song is good, it doesn't quite blossom to its fullest potential. Both Peace and Hollow have gentler instrumentals with a soulful mood. There's even an acoustic guitar playing throughout Peace that is pretty beautiful, actually. The vocals from Moses Sumney and Mira May cover the song in a blanket of silkiness that is really smooth towards the end. Sounds like a scenario where Sade makes a song for the Lion King soundtrack or something. Paulo as well is quite good, a bit more cinematic in nature compared to the other tracks here. It also features less production aesthetics, again adding to the stripped back methodology that the record. Really what makes Hollow stand out to me though is the personal story that Simz tells, and the string sections sparkle and dazzle where they should and complement her flow very nicely. The next 3 tracks though do underwhelm me a little bit more. Lion has the same problem as Flood where the vocals are a bit too quiet, but this time I think it might just be the way that Obenjayers, sorry if I mispronounced that, but his vocals are implemented in a really odd way. It's not like Nav on Yosemite levels of bad at all or anything, but it is odd. I just think that the way that they incorporate the chants from this artist leaves a lot to be desired. Blood, as referenced in the title of the track, ties more to the kindred spirit, being about the endurance of familial relationships, specifically with siblings. The way that she is sort of conversing with Wretch 32 on the track is ear-grabbing, sure, but the way their verses mesh with the piano-backed instrumental just feels a bit awkward. I feel like there could have been more progression with this track, and I would have liked to see more volition from the two of them. Maybe where the production kind of hints at bumps in the road of their relationship, but as it stands, it's kind of just a listenable track. It's decent. But thankfully the album does end quite strong with the final 3 tracks, especially the title track, Lotus, which is an enlightening 7-minute cut featuring a stellar hook from Mike Kiwanuka, whose stuff, if you have not heard, you definitely should. But yeah, great incorporation of his feature. I don't think the metaphor of a flower blooming, showing growth as a character, is very new in terms of like songwriting. But the rapid performance here from Simz is undoubtedly passionate, and she mixes elements of melancholy and anger in her performance really well. And the instrumental shifts in tone and energy to complement this phenomenon very well. And the instrumental shifts in tone and energy to complement this phenomenon very nicely, in contrast to the previous song. The orchestral explosion towards the end is, it's pretty peak, I will say. And the album ends with a track that features Sampha, actually, which is unfortunately not my favorite collab from them or anything. Nowhere near something like Spirit 2.0. I mean, they have good chemistry, and clearly these two are comfortable performing with one another, but still, it's kind of exactly standard for the two of them. Sampha sounds good, and the rapping is pretty solid, but the minimal approach here doesn't really reinforce the collaboration, a collaboration that I'm normally ecstatic to hear. Though it certainly has its moments, and Little Simz has unmatched skill when it comes to lyricism and album curation in the UK hip-hop scene, stripping back the aesthetics of her normal sound and experimenting with murkier tones has led to some wilted petals on Lotus. I would give this album a 68. It's not bad at all, and there's some quality packed in there, namely the title track, but it's probably the worst album I have heard from her weakest album. I would definitely still give it a listen though, even if you're not a fan, because there are some cool ideas on here, for sure. Guys, I just found out about an hour ago that the Eliza P DLC just dropped, so I'm gonna have to play that and definitely do a video on it in the future, for sure. I know that's gonna be a big discussion on around the FromSoft Souls-like community for the next few weeks. So I'll definitely be talking about that. Keep an eye out for the 28 Years Later movie review as well, and a video where I talk about some movie shows and albums and games maybe that I missed along the way. Sort of catch up, sort of freestyle video in the future. All right, but yeah, other than that, see you guys later.